SCP-5322, and the road stretches on. The SCP universe and community is one that is especially interesting to me because it can appeal to such a wide array of ages and interests. Of course, it has great appeal to those interested in various aspects of horror, from gore-fest to strange cosmic threats, and it also has its share of content for those looking for sillier or humorous pieces. In addition to this, though, there's a good number of articles that are meant for those looking for something more melancholic, or thoughtful, or inspiring. The article we'll be looking at today does not have a massive body count or some end-of-the-world horror, but it is interesting nonetheless. SCP-5322 is a short, one-way road which begins at a small farmhouse in Hackett, Georgia, and terminates 50 meters in, leading to a non-anomalous woodland clearing. A hand-painted sign next to the beginning of this road reads Route 108. When an individual in a motor vehicle drives down the entire length of this road, and at the end of the road either has their eyes closed or their vision otherwise obscured, they and their motor vehicle will disappear completely. In order to better understand the nature of SCP-5322, 3 tests were performed by Foundation personnel over the course of 3 weeks. In the first 2 of these tests, performed by D-Class, the vehicles disappeared as usual and were not recovered. In the third test, Agent Simeon Woods volunteered and was equipped with a specialized vehicle featuring an array of exterior cameras and sensors, along with a handheld audio recording device in the event of equipment malfunction. The remainder of the article consists mostly of these audio logs.
April 13, 2019.
Confirming, crossover. Some sort of crossover has just occurred. Not entirely sure of current location. There was about 10 to 20 seconds of sort of turbulence. I'm not sure if that'd be the right word to describe it. Bright lights and shaking of the vehicle, at any rate. I'm not sure if the exterior equipment is still functional. I heard something snap off. Audio recording equipment's still functional. We'll perform a quick exterior inspection if safe.
April 13, 2019.
Yes, okay. Exterior equipment is definitely non-functional. Majority of it is completely missing. Not sure if it was left behind on the other side or what. We'll continue documenting experiences via audio equipment, as best I can. My surroundings. It's a road here. Still a road. Much longer now, stretching as far as I can see. Off into the horizon, past that probably. There was a forest around me when I came in here, but it's just fields now. Normal grass, all normal, except for the fact that there's so much of it. It's the same time of day, I think. The sun's in the same position at least. If it's the same sun. We'll continue driving as instructed.
April 13, 2019.
Now speaking. I've been driving for the last 5 hours or so. Nothing to report landscape-wise in that time. Just fields on either side, and the road continuing on. A fairly smooth road. Hasn't been much in terms of bumps. Haven't noticed any vegetation on the sides of the road other than grass. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sort of reaching for things to report here. Been grateful for the music already loaded on the radio. It's a little cloudy. Oh, yes. I've been keeping an eye on my fuel as I've been driving, of course. and the position of the meter doesn't seem to have changed in that time. Unsure whether that's some kind of malfunction with the equipment or if I'm actually just not using fuel. I'll inspect at first opportunity to confirm which is the case. It's getting dark. I'll concentrate on driving.
April 14, 2019.
Quick update. Still driving. Haven't stopped since I came in, really. It's boring, but I don't feel any physical fatigue, any kind of physical tiredness. Just as awake as I was when I came in here. I'm not hungry either, or thirsty, so I guess it's one of those kinds of situations. It's pitch black outside. I don't think I mentioned there weren't any streetlights out here. I mean, I never said that there were, but I just want to say specifically now that there aren't. It's just some slight light from the moon. A moon, I guess. No way to tell if it's the one I know. Oh, and the headlights of the car. Thank God those weren't broken coming in. It's kind of calm, you know? Just the sound of the engine. Can't even hear any insects out there or birds. Just this thing purring. I was kind of worried, you know? That this would be one of those things where, like, something awful would come out, but only at night. That something would start to try to get into the car, or I'd catch glimpses of something out in the dark, or something like that. Well, I'm not trying to jinx it, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. There's nothing out there, as far as I can tell. Just me, the dark, and the road. It's not so bad.
April 14, 2019.
Forgot to mention, I'll do an inspection of the car to check the fuel as soon as first light comes in. Okay, that's it.
April 15, 2019.
Okay, sort of a mass update here. Didn't want to clog this thing up with a bunch of 10-second recordings. First things first. Did that inspection of the fuel I was talking about. Definitely still a full tank, so I should be good to keep driving unless something unforeseen happens. I mean, I'm hardly going to crash, so... Well, I say that. That leads me to the second thing, actually. Came across a house on the side of the road a couple hours after sunrise. A little sort of cottage thing, mostly made from wood. Kinda cozy looking. That sort of... like the kind of thing you'd see on a Christmas card. Idealized, I think that's the best way to put it. Anyways, I parked up and took a look around. Wanted to see if there was any kind of, I don't know, natives or other people here. Needless to say, there weren't. Place looked abandoned. Bed upstairs had been slept in, clearly, and there were dishes in the sink. Oh, there was a sink. But the food in the fridge looked like it'd been rotten for a while. If someone once lived there, they haven't for a while. Got back in the car after my search and went back on the road. Oh, it was on the left side, if that's important. Probably not.
April 15, 2019.
We're getting somewhere now. More houses like the one I reported about earlier. Well, more properties, I suppose. They're all sort of unique. Different designs, different sizes. Cozy little cottages next to all this modern metal and glass next to, like, a little castle. Not much in terms of a unifying theme. I searched them all, of course, and they're just as abandoned as the cabin was. Food rotted where it's stored, so it's definitely been left there for a while. These things seem to be coming up in clusters. I went an hour or so with just fields, and then I got a bunch of them all together. There haven't been any vehicles, just houses. One house had a driveway, but there was no car in it. Not sure if that means anything. Fuel meter still hasn't budged. That probably isn't changing anytime soon. Not sure if there's anything to be done except go on driving, so... Hold up.
April 15, 2019.
I just talk? You just talk. Actually, I should probably give some kind of introduction first. Hold on. I'm sitting in a diner, a roadside diner by the name of Brenda's Spot. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, that's where I am. And I'm speaking with the proprietor, Brenda Calloway. Do you mind if I describe you? We just have audio, so long as you're polite about it, I guess. All right. Miss Calloway is a young woman, 20s? In your 20s, is that right? She's nodding. Caucasian brunette, green eyes, wearing some kind of waitress uniform. She's got a name card on with her name on it. Sorry about that. And thanks for the coffee. No problem. You done? Yes, I'm done. I have to say, you didn't seem too surprised to see me. Well, you're the first in a while, but people come through here every now and then. Last couple of fellows were prisoners in these orange suits, and they weren't too polite, but they went on their way quick enough. I see. And, may I ask when you yourself came through? Well, I guess it must have been a while ago. Couldn't tell you the exact date, if that's what you want to know. Was driving home from work one day, took a wrong turn, and I ended up in this place. In this diner? No, on the road, I mean. Still driving like I just had been, but the road just kept going. It was so dark I didn't realize for a while, you know? And when I did, there still weren't that much I could do except keep going. Keep driving. I didn't notice your car when I came in. Well, you can only keep on driving for so long, right? Eventually, you just have to accept that you're not going anywhere. No matter how far I drove, it might as well have just been a dead end. So I just stopped. And then? I parked the car, got out to... Well, I carried a gun for safety. And there was the diner. Just in front of me, like it'd been there for years. Brenda's Stop. I was a waitress before, did I mention that? It was all I'd ever been good for, so I figured, why not? I set up shop. All the supplies I needed were already here, and they stocked themselves up every now and then. You take what you can get. You're content just staying here? Forever? Well, not forever. If I wanted to, I could just walk off across the fields, and I get the feeling that that'd be that. But it's not so bad here. I keep myself busy, you know? Right. Hey, what year is it? Could you tell me that? It's, it ain't the 70s anymore, is it? No. Could you? Of course.
April 15, 2019.
Asked her if she wanted to come with me. I was happy to give her a ride, but guess not. Seemed happy enough where she was. Well, not happy, but you know what I mean. Better the devil you know, I guess. Or something like that. Back in the car now. Back on the road. Starting to get a little played out. These songs you guys gave me. Probably should have accounted for a long trip. Well, we didn't know there'd be a trip at all, so this is fine, I guess. I'm fine. Cloudy again.
April 16, 2019.
Put the lime in the coconut and... No, shit.
April 22, 2019.
Like normal? Yep, just like you'd expect. Was a little wary to try myself at first, of course, you understand, but it's just like normal. Not half bad. You wanna... Oh, no, that's okay. Like I was saying, though, is there a message you'd want me to pass on once I get out, or... I told you, son. There ain't no place to reach. There's just the road and wherever you decide to stop driving. You've got to get realistic at some point. All the same. I'm not an idiot. There's nobody out there for you to give a message to. I'm happy enough here. Just let me be. Are you sure there's seats in the car we could... I'd thank you to get off my property, son.
April 22, 2019.
That was Harvey Preston. He was in this farm I came across. Huge, just huge sort of place. Fields and fields of stuff other than grass, actually. All sorts of fruits, crops, you know. Even a combine harvester. I wonder if you could use that to drive the road. Probably not. God, it's nice out. If there's some background noise, I've got the window open. Anyway, he was just, Sorry about the lack of updates, by the way. It's just that there's not much to report on. Lost the habit. He was just doing his thing. You don't need to eat here, but I guess he enjoys the work of it. Don't know if enjoy is the right word, though. More like, something to keep you busy. You gotta find something to waste the seconds away with, I guess. Just fields again now. Dum-de-dum.
May 14, 2019.
I've got to, I'm not sure if this is a confession exactly. It's not like I've done anything wrong exactly. I just feel like I've got to say it, and I guess you guys are like a captive audience. Will be a captive audience. Hopefully, I mean. I volunteered for this, after the first two guys didn't come back. Must have looked like a suicide thing. Maybe it was, but I don't think so. It just felt like doing this was some kind of impact. A contribution to something that wasn't me. Like an important one. It's hard to put into words. My dad died when he was 30, and his dad before him, and so on. My mom told me about it. I mean, I'm not a superstitious guy, but there's something there. You guys have to admit there's something there. And I'm I'm 28 now, so there's that kind of fear, you know? You start thinking about the impact you're gonna leave. Whether it all means something. Whether it meant anything. There's this feeling where you just want to worry about it all the time, and you realize that as you're worrying about it, you're wasting time, and you don't have time. It's running out every second, even as you're thinking that. But it's just so awful, you can't help it. And nothing means anything. This road. I get the feeling nobody's got to the end. Not properly. That's got to mean something, hasn't it? If I find out what's there, if I meet it, it has to. And all I have to do is keep driving. It's the easiest thing in the world. And if it goes on forever, well, I guess there could be worse things. I've got nothing but time.
July 11, 2019.
Nothing to report.
October 26, 2019.
This is, Lucy Carson. She lives at... Go ahead. Harry, baby, if you're there, I love you. I love you so much, and the kids. If you're listening to this too, Mommy loves you. God, you're probably too old for that now, aren't you? So old. You just keep going, okay? I love you guys. I so much. That's okay. You did great. The following 62 recordings proceeded in much the same manner, with Agent Woods allowing various individuals he encountered to record messages intended for friends and loved ones. The Foundation is currently deliberating on a way to deliver these messages to their intended recipients without a breach of secrecy.
September 11, 2020.
The clusters are starting to die off now. Nothing since Gray's place for a week or so now. Had a birthday driving, I realized, just after the big castle. It's sunny today. I like the warmth on my skin. It's nice. I've got the window open. I wonder if it'll rain soon. It rains every now and then. Did I ever mention that? It's not slippery, but it sounds nice coming off the windows. Like fingers tapping against the glass. But, a little less spooky than that, I think.
December 24, 2020.
I do appreciate it, though. No problem. You really did get sick of that cabin, didn't you? Uh-huh. Did we send you in with that bag? Must have. I read the files. I don't remember that. It was in the cabin when my car crashed. It's not a big deal. I never said it was a big deal. Okay. If we're gonna be driving together, we might as well try and get along. Where were you? Are you recording this? Yep. I want to drive. Sure thing. Let me just stop the car.
December 24, 2020.
Had to ditch him. Got a bad vibe. Didn't like the way he was being cagey about the bag. Might have been nothing, but if it was nothing, why would he get so defensive about it? Was it a weapon, maybe? Could have been a knife. I don't know what he would have done with it. Maybe he was a little sore about being thrown in here. I wouldn't blame him. Or it might have been nothing. I feel a little bad, but not as bad as I thought I would. It's not like I left him to starve or freeze or die alone. Someone will come along. Something will come along. Eventually. Things don't happen here in ways they aren't meant to. Or anywhere. This is a one-way road, after all. It's very empty now. Not even grass. I think I'm getting somewhere. Oh. Merry Christmas, I guess. Imagine the biggest apartment building you've ever seen. Like, imagine you've lived in the country all your life. I don't know if you, the person listening, can relate to that, or if any of you can, if you're listening in a group. I grew up in the country, and when you go to the city, everything just looks massive. In a different way, I guess. In the country, things are wide. Things stretch off forever. But in the city, things are tall. Things reach up for the sky. Imagine a building, just the biggest you've ever seen, full of people. And then imagine it over and over again, stacked on top of itself, like a kid's toys, just left in a pile. It's like that right now, both sides of the road. Just these gray concrete buildings just smashed together, the piles reaching up all the way into the sky. Sun's sort of poking through the gaps, but just barely. Did you catch that? Every now and then, dozens of those buildings will just slide off those piles, smash onto the road, and just fade away. It's kind of sad. Once, I think these were places people could settle for, and they're just gone. Forever. There are people here too, but I don't think I'll be stopping this time. I catch them looking at me through broken windows, peeking over shattered balconies. They have angry eyes. It's not that they want the car, I don't think. It's just the audacity, I think, that I'm still going and they aren't. I can understand why they're angry. They almost made it, I think. Made it through. When I cleared the buildings, I could hear them behind me, shouting after me like a chorus, like an angry chorus. I didn't look back. It's fields again now, but not the same fields. I haven't got out to check. I feel like that isn't a good idea anymore, but I'm pretty sure it's reeds, not grass. Well, I know reeds are a kind of grass, but, you know, long and yellow instead of short and green. Just thought it might be worth mentioning. Let's get this done. It's bright out. Still driving, I think. I can't hear the engine. It's too bright for that, I think. Like I'm driving into the sun. Can't even see outside the windows, but you know, my eyes don't hurt. Don't even sting. It's like a gentle star. I think it might be my birthday. The engine stopped. Okay. That's... Hi. Okay. Hi. Oh my God, that's... That's so beautiful. On May 23rd, 2021, over 2 years after entry, Agent Simeon Woods and his vehicle reappeared within the forest clearing at the end of SCP-5322. On-site personnel quickly recovered both, and Agent Woods was declared dead at the scene. Cause of death was ruled as sudden heart failure at an indeterminate date and time. Agent Woods was found to be smiling. There's a lot to unpack with this one, thematically and metaphorically, but not necessarily with answers to the plot. Agent Woods was a man that was worried about the impact that he was going to leave behind in this world, which is a concern for a good number of people. Apparently, the males in his family had a long line of dying at the age of 30, and although we lose track of the time towards the end of the recordings, there's a good chance that he reached the end of the road shortly after his 30th birthday. I'm not going to try and answer what exactly Agent Woods found at the end of the road in that anomaly, as it doesn't really matter. But it was clearly something that he was glad to find. The road is, in many ways, a metaphor for life itself. Many are content to stop somewhere along that road, stay in one place, literally or metaphorically, and carry out the rest of their days just keeping busy. Some, however, are not content with that path and need to keep going, keep striving to reach an unknowable goal at the end of the road. Is that goal at the end worth it? That depends on the person striving for it and what they hope to find, but I don't think the article is necessarily disparaging those that don't stay on the road until the very end. Agent Woods died after reaching it, but it would seem that he was ultimately glad he made the journey. Did he ultimately make a great impact on the world? Probably not, but it depends on how you look at it. It could be that his impact was nothing more than a series of audio logs from a strange anomaly that's going to get filed away in the Foundation's database. Or, if the Foundation actually does a decent thing for once, they might pass on those messages from the missing people, and Agent Woods will have provided closure for a large number of people that didn't have it previously. As I said, the SCP universe features a wide array of content, and although I tend to focus on the large, bombastic, horror or sci-fi pieces on this channel, there are plenty of articles that just make you think a little about life.